This is KGW News at Sunrise.
Now at 5, health officials are seeing a pattern from each wave of COVID cases. What we've learned from previous surges that could help prevent another one this winter. That's coming up.
And it is a KGW Good Energy Day. We're going to tell you about a Multnomah County program helping homeowners improve their homes to make them warmer and more energy efficient.
Plus, now that college athletes can make some money off their name and image while they're still in school, a new company, co-founded by Nike's Phil Knight, is helping athletes at the U of O make the most of that opportunity.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. We've made it to the middle of the week, unless you're this one. He's off tomorrow and the next
Friday.
one. It is your Friday.
Friday.
The rest of us have a few more days to get through.
Yeah.
Rod, how's the forecast?
It's National Walk to School Day, right?
Or bike, either way.
You can bike.
Just don't drive a car or take a bus is what they're suggesting.
If you want to be an overachiever, you could jog to school.
I guess you're right. Sprint, why not?
Yes, all right. Well, we have rain on the radar. This is a typical scattered shower pattern that will produce some sun breaks. Right now, showers more numerous down in Salem and less so up in Portland. If you're going to be out early this morning, 47 in Beaverton, 48 in West Lynn. I think most of us will eventually end up in the 40s by the time the sun pops up. Salem's holding at 50, so to the bus stop we go. Scattered showers throughout the day, and especially this morning, some of them are producing big time downpours. We might just get up to 60 when the kids get out of school later today.
All right, Rod, time to get to our top story. And we start this morning with the latest COVID update from the Oregon Health Authority, which included 44 new deaths related to COVID, although that number, it did come out in yesterday's daily update, but we're still waiting for some clarification because it's possible those deaths happened over the course of several days.
So in the meantime, as we track the data, we see that the outbreak of infections comes in waves, like every 3 months. Pat Doris talked with the experts who are trying to understand why.
Throughout this pandemic, it seems we have seasons where the sky seems to be falling. COVID infections are happening everywhere, and then they're not, until it starts up all over again. Take a look. The epi curve posted by the Oregon Health Authority shows a roughly 3-month ebb and flow. One began back in late October of 2020. Then it was on its way back down by late January. Another began building in late March of 2021, then was on its way back down in late June. The current wave began in mid-July and is now on its way down 3 months later.
I've been modeling that pattern actually since quite early in the pandemic, and I call it the fear and fatigue cycle.
Peter Graven, a lead data scientist at Oregon Health and Sciences University and the person who creates the COVID forecast, says it's most likely us and not the virus creating the waves. I asked if it's our behavior over time.
The pandemic sort of quiets down, the numbers go down, people relax a little bit more, they gather more indoors, and then as the numbers start to go up, it's reported more in the news, they get more concerned, they start reacting a little bit, and so that eventually sends it back down again?
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's, the pattern I've seen. In fact, it's been really interesting. There's been times when even before any policies happen, just through news reporting and other people seeing the case counts, people's behavior would change.
You can see that same sort of wave in Clark County. The number of cases per 100,000 shows the pandemic building in November and then falling 2 months later in January, then building again in April before falling 2 months later in June, then building again in August before starting to fall 2 months later, now in October.
But there does seem to be, an ebb and a flow.
Dr. Stephen Krager is the Deputy Health Officer for Clark County. He believes a number of factors are at play to create these waves, but the big question he cannot answer is, where does it go from here? Because a lot of people in Clark County are still at risk.
So that's, 300,000 people in Clark County that have some sort of immunity. That means 200,000 people may not. And that, to me, that's kind of like, that explains a lot of why we've continued to see large waves. There's still a large susceptible population, people who can still get infected.
In Oregon, data scientist Peter Graven thinks it is possible that we've seen the top of the last wave. Well, that is until our immunity begins to wear off, and then, without boosters, the sky could be falling again. Pat Doris, KGW News.
Well, nearly 6 months after the CDC reported the first case of blood clots related to the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, health officials in Washington have announced a woman has died from that condition there. Health officials didn't name her, but according to her obituary, she was 37-year-old Jessica Wilson. This is the first death of its kind in Washington and only the 4th nationwide. She died 2 weeks after getting the shot in Seattle. She was born in Portland. Health officials acknowledged the tragic death, but are trying to remind people just how rare this outcome is.
Despite this sad event and a handful of other ones like it, we have to forge on as a society and take the route that carries the most benefit, the best benefit to risk ratio.
Earlier this year, the CDC paused its authorization of the J&J vaccine to study these blood clot risks, and it determined the benefits of the vaccine far outweigh the risks when compared to the threat of death or hospitalization from COVID.
In Central Oregon, St. Charles Health System will now require visitors show proof of vaccination. This starts, they say, on October 18th, which is the same day that all Oregon healthcare workers are required to be fully vaccinated. St. Charles says making sure that visitors are also fully vaccinated will help to further protect patients and caregivers during the pandemic. Unvaccinated visitors will only be allowed inside under specific circumstances.
In Springfield, more than 400 unionized healthcare workers are now on strike. They hit the picket lines yesterday at McKenzie-Willamette Medical Center. The union includes frontline workers like certified nursing assistants, MRI technicians, and respiratory therapists. They say they're striking because of they are understaffed. There's low wages and high turnover and a lack of COVID protections.
We're here and living in this community where everything is costing more and more, and we're having to work for a better wage, and we're called healthcare heroes. Well, then treat us like heroes.
The hospital says they're committed to bargaining in good faith and reaching a mutually beneficial agreement. During the strike, some hospital services are limited, but the ER remains open for walk-ins. The strike is set to last through Thursday.
New research from Portland State University suggests the city needs to expand its street response team. The team includes a paramedic and a crisis counselor who respond to some calls for help instead of police. In a meeting yesterday, a team of researchers told the city council that PSR is working well and it should expand citywide. Right now, Portland Street Response operates on a limited basis, mostly in the Lentz neighborhood. It's responding to calls like welfare checks and people with behavioral health issues. Right now, the team goes on between 3 and 4 calls a day. That's partly because there are limits on what they can respond to, and also because not enough people know about the team. The council will vote on this expansion later this month.
We mentioned at the top of the hour, today is a KGW Good Energy Day. We've been holding these about once a month for the past few months, and we're sharing stories about ways we can all be more environmentally friendly. So, with that in mind, we're going to let you know that Multnomah County is offering free home upgrades to low-income homeowners.
Yeah, it's kind of a weatherization program to make homes safer and warmer. Bryant Quickly is here to tell us more about the program, including they're looking for more people to apply for this, Bryant.
Yes, they are, and good morning, Nina and Drew. And if you qualify, it could mean big savings. The program can reduce utility bills by 40%, and the county works with local contractors to upgrade the homes. It includes insulating attics, floors, and walls, repairing heating systems, and replacing windows and patio doors. Also fixing old plumbing and pipes. The county upgrades up to 300 homes a year, including apartments.
Energy efficiency is the cheapest and the quickest way to not only save energy, but to meet all the energy needs that we have. It decreases pollution. You know, there's a lot of talk about climate change.
And to qualify for the energy assistance, and your income has to be at or below a certain level. It's about $52,000 a year for a family of 4. And to apply, you can go to Multnomah County website. And if you live in an apartment, the property owner would have to apply. And guys, it's worth checking out. It can mean thousands of dollars in savings. Back to you guys.
All right, Brian Clerkley. See, that counts as a KGW Good Energy Day story. And so does this next one. For the very first time, Portland General Electric has hired goats to help clear bushes and brush around the Oak Grove pipeline in Estacada. So this is a 7-mile-long stretch of area. And in the past, PGE would typically send out crews with chainsaws and mowers to clear that area. But again, they're going with goats now. They're hoping that the goats will be safer, more efficient. You can actually see from the pictures we're showing you here, the progress that the goats have made from one side of that pipeline to the other.
There you go. We'll work for food. I bet they're a whole lot cheaper than those crews.
And Brenda, I understand because of the employee shortage, McDonald's set to start hiring goats as well. Is that right?
No.
Target?
No.
Hashtag fake what?
Oh my gosh. What do you have behind you there this morning?
We have Timberline Lodge. You know, we've had several of these mornings where it's been snowing up there. It's that time of the year, right? They picked up about an inch. It's 27 degrees. It's only 35 down at government camp. So the air mass is chilly. Yesterday, Portland only made it to 59. That's 10 degrees below normal. We only may make it to 59 again today. So we stay in this cool batch of air. Yesterday it was steady rain, right, with the front that came through. Today it's a scattered shower pattern. We'll get some sun breaks mixed in as well. But notice all the little yellow dots. So those are heavy showers mixed in. Salem, rain picking up down in Marion County. Good morning to you. It's pretty quiet in Portland right now. There might be some hail embedded in some of these heavy showers. I have not seen any lightning. There's a heavy shower just moving outside of Silverton. Again, Salem, the heavier rain showing up on the radar. So Futurecast shows what we just saw on radar. Basically at 9:30 this morning, scattered showers moving through, some sun breaks opening up. Here we are at 1 o'clock this afternoon, still a scattered shower threat this afternoon at 5. But once the sun goes down this evening, this rain chance will quickly end, and tomorrow will be dry. We may see some valley fog tomorrow morning. This doesn't really show that at 7 a.m. Otherwise, we should get some sun. Tomorrow looks to be pretty nice for your Thursday. Here are the current numbers. Eugene's at 47. Salem and Portland holding at 50-something. 39 out in Bend. We have a mix of clouds out east as well, which is holding you folks above freezing. The 7-day forecast, by the way, every single day is below normal temperature-wise. 60 today, maybe. 63 tomorrow, dry. That shower chance Friday, that's so-so, so mainly a dry day. Saturday's rain chance to me is still uncertain, and then Sunday still looks to be very wet into Monday, and that's your forecast.
All right, Rod, thank you so much. Well, the University of Oregon making it easier for student athletes to make money off their name now that that's okay. How the new program works and how Nike is involved. Coming up. And there's been a lot of talk about conservatorships, especially related to the Britney Spears case. And our Verify team looks at just how common these situations are in the U.S. after the break.